Today I have a very special guest. Her name is Jane Chung. Jane was one of our students from our course this past winter. She made progress all last summer and fall and even continued to do it throughout the winter holidays, which I know even the best of us have a hard time with. In 6 months, she's managed to lose 18 pounds while gaining muscle. How much she was able to squat increased by 10 pounds during that time, her bench press by 15 pounds, and her deadlift by 20 pounds. What really blew me away about Jane's story, and I hope will also really inspire and motivate you, is how she takes an objective yet lighthearted trial and error approach to her fat loss and muscle gain journey, while balancing it with both hardcore execution and a healthy dose of self-compassion. So I'm so excited to share her story with you, and I really hope that this will inspire and motivate some of you out there as well. And stick around until the end because we have a bonus cheat sheet that we think is really going to help you. Hi, Lucy here from CoachViva.com. For the best advice on how to take control and be a badass body boss for life, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of when we release new videos every week. Before I begin, I want to quickly announce that spots are open for our one-on-one free consult with me and Richa for our Badass Body Boss program. So make sure you stay until the end of this video for the announcement on that. Now let's get on with the interview.
Oh, thank you so much, Jane, for jumping on this call.
Yeah, definitely. My pleasure.
As I understand, you've been on this weight loss journey for quite a while now, and actually you're not just losing weight right now, you're actually trying to gain muscle right now too, so you're like leveling up there. As I'm aware, you started tracking your weights and became really serious about exercising and dieting back around last summer, right?
Yeah, around like June 2018, yes.
Yeah, and you lost about 15 pounds, I think, in like the 4 months following that, and you did a lot of things, and we'll dive a lot into more of what exactly you did. I know you tracked a lot of things, you learned a lot about your body, you did a lot of different kinds of exercises, including weightlifting, HIIT training, and hiking, a bunch of other things, and all of those were very helpful for you to get your physical activity in. As for food, you found that you were able, when you focus more on what you're eating, you were able to control your portions more, and you were more satisfied even with the foods that you were eating.
Right.
And actually, you even emailed us your tracking, and you were very, very diligent. I was looking, I was like, whoa. A+ just diligence right there.
I was like, I don't know exactly what's going on. So I was like, okay, let's use Excel for this.
Yeah, so I guess let's just jump from the beginning. Were you always did you see your weight creep up and then you just happened to notice it that summer, or?
Honestly, so 2 years ago, I was like at the heaviest point of my life. I gained like a bunch of weight, so I was around like 148 pounds. Like,
and how are you? Just to give perspective.
Oh, so right now I'm like, I've been recently tracking it with kilograms, so like 54, so roughly around 119.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what's your height, Jane? Just so that other people can relate.
So like, let's see, I'm around like 5'3", 5'4" ish.
Explaining it to our audience out there that going from 145 to 119 is a huge deal for people like us. Yeah, so
it was a lot of work.
And what did you, I'm sure you didn't get it completely right on your very first try. So some of the things that you tried in the past that didn't work out, and why did you think those didn't work?
Yeah, totally. So like, as everyone, when you saw you gained a lot of weight, you're like, okay, first thing I need to do is dieting. I need to diet. And I went straight into like low carbs diet because I've been hearing like carb is bad for you. You should consume like too much carb. So I was just like, okay, let's try a low carb diet. And I was good with it for 3 months with exercise too, of course. But then after 3 months, my work then like really like picked up and I got really busy. I just like gained back all the pounds I lost. And I was like, well, I'll go through the window.
Sorry, you cut out for a little bit. Work got very busy for you, and that's when you fell off the wagon. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, that is correct. It's always stress eating. It's just like I don't have time to take care of myself. I don't put myself like first priority. So I just kind of like was in a mess.
And were you just kind of cutting carbs and exercising a lot? Was that primarily?
So during like the non-busy time, yes. So I would not like eat a lot of rice or bread in my daily dieting.
Yeah, right, right.
And then like when you're stressed, you want to eat more carb. I mean, at least that's how my body reacts to it. I was just like,
and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. Like when we get stressed, we're going for the carb and the sugar. It's our quickest source of energy for our body.
Yes.
So what did you end up doing then to, help push you through?
So like, yeah, after that rough period, I'm just kind of like eased back into not like low carb diet. So basically I didn't really stick to any diet. I just eat whatever I feel like. So yeah, and then like this summer, I finally talked to myself and make a plan. And it's like, okay, let's do this. Let's not give up.
And did you make a plan yourself, or did
just listen to your internal body, like when you're actually like full, like how full you are, like do you actually need to eat more, or like would you be bloated like after you take this bite? It's just like a constant battle.
I love that you were listening to your body, and in that way you're making it personalized to you. You're not just going by a cookie cutter guideline.
Right.
And this may come as a shock to some people, maybe not, but there are actually a lot of people who have been overeating or undereating their entire life, and they have lost touch with their own hunger and satiety signals. So actually this is, I'm very curious. So how would you describe like how you can tell when you're hungry, or when you're satiated and it's enough food?
Gotcha, yeah. So it's like when I know like what is a signal that's telling me, oh, you're full.
Yeah, can you like give some advice?
That's really interesting. So for me, I think there was a period of time that I was so busy with work that I didn't even have time to eat for that day, and I was like not really like hungry, but at like dinner I was like, oh man, I'm starving. So I started eating really fast. And at some point I was like, oh shoot, I can't even stand up anymore. And it's like the next time I was like, okay, how I was trying to listen to my body, like, so I eat, like, try to be more conscious. Like, when I'm eating, I'm not, like, looking at my phones and just get focus on my food, and just kind of like, oh, I'm kind of like, after this bite, I still, like, can take one more bite, but after the next bite, I'm probably good. I'm just not feeling, like, too heavy, like,
yeah.
Or maybe, like, if I still want to eat more, I'm just, like, drink a sip of water and, like, sit for, like, 5 minutes. And then put like my plate right next to me. Like after 5 minutes, I look at the plates again. I was like, do I still want to eat?
Yeah.
Most of the time, that trick works for me. My body is like, okay, you're full. You don't really need more food. But sometimes the food is really good, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat more.
That's you experience. You're basically test driving it.
Yeah, so just kind of like
you nail it on day one.
Like, no, it's a trial and error. Yeah,
trial and error. Yeah, and you, because I've seen your tracking logs. You are you seem like a very data driven person. You didn't give up just because it didn't work out the very first time.
Right.
You were wondering, I'm sure you were upset, but you were thinking about what can I do next? Like given what's happened, what can I learn from this, and how can I tweak it? That is something that I think a lot of people need to hear, because it is really discouraging. It is really discouraging.
It is.
Progress.
It is very hard. Yeah. I think like to me, like it's super important that I understand, like have the right mindset when I set the goal for like this journey. It just is about like how I want to live from now on. Like I don't want to be like attached to a certain type of label of food and like exercising, dieting, crash course, and things like that. But I just want to have like a lifestyle that does work for me, that I enjoy what I do, enjoy what I eat, and I enjoy how I look and how I feel.
I love that. And I love that you are focused on sustainability while making progress. That's perfect. When you were tracking, I'm sure there were times where the numbers didn't seem to go in the right direction.
Many times.
Even after you've so I only say this because I feel like this is me in that, because I would track everything, and even after doing everything right, sometimes the numbers still don't go the way I want. It has that happen, like even if you were doing everything right?
Yeah, I certainly have that moment. Like, it's not working. I've been doing everything I was supposed to. Like, I mean, I see my weight every day, and why is either going up, let's say the same, why is not like going down? But then I want to read your books. When I read your books, actually, is really helpful. It's like, oh, you gotta know your body take a long time to adjust to any changes that you put in your body. So just be patient with it, keep doing the good work, and follow your routine, and then your body will show the result. So basically, just don't rush through it, and just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yep, don't give up.
You basically kind of trusted the system, huh?
Trust my body.
You trust your body. You trust your body. I love that.
I trust my body. Give it love, and it will love you back.
Oh, that needs to be a tweetable. We'll put a tweetable down here. Love your body, it'll love you back. I love that.
It's so cute.
So let's go on to kind of just discussing some common scenarios that I've seen a lot of other people, like my clients and even just my people, like friends and family in real life, have gone through. A lot of people, when they go online, when they first decide to get serious about their health, they go online and they find all this information, you know, like carb, like, you know, what you said. What advice would you offer someone like that who's just overwhelmed?
Right. So I would say it's going to be, let them know that there's 2 areas that need to focus. 1 is exercise and 2 is diet. So for exercise, I would advise them to obviously do weight training, but I know a lot of people got intimidated by weight training because they think it will bulk. I think it's totally wrong. I mean, you just can't bulk up. It's a lot of work to be look like, you know, bodybuilder. They put a lot of work into that. Yeah. It's not like you just lift like 5 pounds or 10 pounds and you're like, oh, look at this. Be open-minded about weight training and just doing something, activities that you really enjoy doing. It's just not like really like, you know, you have to. It's just like, oh, it's fun time. Why not? For myself, I always love playing badminton, but I always have excuses like, oh, you know, work got in the way, so I didn't really make plans or like time for it. But I actually now like do 2 times a week of playing badminton beside my high intensity training. Oh, and nice. Then with weightlifting. So that would be for exercising. And then for eating, I would just say really be focused on portion control, because to me that was a big help. You can follow whatever type of diets that you want to follow, but I mean, just remember at the end of the day, the weight loss is just going to be calorie consuming should be less than your expenditure. So just keep in mind portion control and calories in, calories out, and just play with it. And then sustainability is a big one, because you don't want to be like feeling you can restricted on certain thing, and then you're just like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. But it's not like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's about the mindset too. When
you were talking about play around with it a little bit, what do you mean by that?
So basically that is like depends on the food that you consume during the day. Just kind of get a rough estimate of like how much calorie you eat in a day. Like for me, I think when I first started, like my total like calorie consumption per day is around 1,500. So now it's increased to like 1,800 because I lost more and I exercise more. So it's going to make more sense for me to eat more to fill my body. Yeah. But basically, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, you got to know like how much you eat and how much, not like precisely, but just like, you know, roughly estimate. And then you just need to feel good about like how you eat, like what you eat, like counting everything.
So how are you able to stay under your calorie target without counting calories?
Yes, people. So basically, I know like some food I like to eat. Like for example, like in the summer, I would usually eat overnight oatmeal with like just some berries and honey.
Yeah,
and it's roughly estimated like 300 calories for that breakfast, and then I would divide the rest, eat lunch and dinner. Because in the summer, like my total calorie per day is like 1,500, because that's when I first started. So I still have like 1,200 calories after breakfast. So I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe I'll just go for like something light if I don't feel like too hungry in lunch, and I just eat like a big meal, like 1,000 calories something in a dinner. And then eating lean would definitely help with the calorie consumption too. for me, like in the summer, I usually eat more like light vegetable food, like fruit and veggies. But in the winter, it's got pretty bad. I don't feel like vegetable anymore. I just feel like stew and like pretty much like bakeries, bread. So I just have to be like mindful of like how much I eat, that I still satisfy and I still feel me and I still have enough energy to do all the exercise I'm doing. This is like error and trial, so that's why it's hard.
So it sounds like you developed a pretty good idea of what kinds of food were about how many calories.
Right.
Like, you know, like vegetables, most vegetables are kind of around the same calories and most lean meats are kind of around the same calories. Yeah. So based on that, you kind of, with some trial and error, figured out like this type of food is usually
what works for me. Like, yes.
Yeah. So, and then with that, then you don't have to calorie count every single day. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't learn all this overnight.
Nope.
You can kind of eyeball basically after a certain point what your plate would be.
Yeah.
And I said there were 2 questions. Let's see. What was the second one? The second one is, you touched on this. You said that when you started, your maintenance calories were around 1,500, and now it's around 1,800. Can you elaborate more on? You said you did some exercise. Is it the exercise? Like what were the exercises that?
So honestly, I've been using this website. It's called bioketo.com. It's a macro calculator. So it's kind of like you put in your age, you put in your weight, your height, and your level of exercising. It's kind of like tell you like how much calorie you should consume per day, and like based on like whether you want to lose weight, how much weight you want to lose per week, or you want to gain weight, and it will spit out like the total daily calories for your body type and your exercise level.
Nice.
So I just kind of like play around with it and see.
Great, and I will include that calculator link in the show notes below.
Yes.
And what do you think was the reason that your maintenance calories increased? Because most people were. So let me tell you why I asked that question. Because most people are very worried that when they lose weight, they're going to have to eat less and less and less.
Right. Yeah, I think that's another common myth about like weight loss and like gain strength. Like, you want to lose weight, you got to eat less.
Yeah.
I guess it's not really how our body works. Like at first, yes, you want to lose weight, eat a little less, gotta exercise more, and then like when you like lose some certain weight, and then you like have the same level of exercise, you gotta keep building the muscle, and you gotta keep like fill your body. So that's my understanding. That's why you need to eat more, because you need to fill the muscle instead of like fat, because like your body going through like a transition like from fat into like muscle gaining, and then the muscle use more calories than using the fat, so therefore you eat more.
Yeah. And we actually didn't talk about strength training very often, but very much earlier, but you did bring that up as one of the 2 things that you would recommend people to do: portion control and exercise. You recommended strength training as part of your exercise routine, in addition to doing something else you like.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit more about why you started doing strength training, and how has that helped you? Have you noticed the increase in muscle? And
definitely, it's very visible.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I saw myself in the mirror, I was like, "Whoa, you look good, girl."
Excellent.
You look like you're not like bulky, but you look fine. You look clean. You look healthy. You look happy.
Oh, yay.
But yeah, and actually, like how I got to weight training, thanks to my husband, because he's the one who like introduced me into weightlifting. Because like, from the beginning, when I was like the noobs, I didn't know anything. I was like, "Oh, I'm scared. It's weightlifting." So that's how I picked up the weights and started doing it. And then I actually like I recently actually during the summer I went to see a a coach that specializes in all the weightlifting exercise, because I want to get like a good technique.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to be like injured your body when you exercise with the wrong technique too. So.
Yeah, no, that's not fun. Getting injured is kind of like undoing your progress, because you're like out of mission. Exactly. But I know that even people who make progress, even myself, and literally everybody I know in the fitness industry or not, stumble from time to time.
Yes.
Yeah. Jane, what are your current biggest struggles right now?
Too much consumption.
It's January 3rd. It's right after the holiday. So I'm sure everybody can relate.
I know, it's like, all I think about is bread, how good it is. Think about the texture, it's so yummy.
But you still eat bread?
So honestly, the last time I eat bread probably no, actually, this morning. But I mean, yes, you're gonna be like want to eat food here and there that like not like totally healthy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just gotta go with it. You just gotta live your life. You just gotta balance it out. Like for example, like for me, I eat buns in the morning, but I'm not gonna eat another buns or so for dinner or lunch. So basically, just in moderation.
Got it. So adapt, right? So it's okay. It's okay if you quote unquote mess up and something you didn't want to.
Yeah.
As just make sure that next meal is
right
or whatever it is.
Yeah, you always gotta have like a voice in the back of your head, like, okay, stick to what you've been doing.
I love your positivity. I hope that the voice in the back of your head is encouraging and not punishing.
No, you gotta fix that when it happens. You gotta know, don't be too rough to yourself.
It's always your voice should always be on your side. Like your body wants you to be happy. Love your body, it loves you back. Right?
Yep, exactly.
You're 119 right now?
Yes.
A while ago. Congratulations, because I think when you did the Big Raw System, when you joined, you were at 120, it's still in the 120s, right?
Yeah, I think like more like 122, fluctuating around like 2 pounds here and there.
Got it. So you did make progress, and I'm very impressed because it was over like the holiday, like the complete like
it was a hard period.
So like 3 pounds or whatever is actually quite impressive. And what are your plans for like the next like 3 months or 3 to 6 months? Like what are your fitness goals in this?
So I have not achieved one of my fitness goals from last year, which is doing a pull-up. I know.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of work, and I was not being on top of that. So there's something that I want to achieve this year. So definitely working on like pull-up, shoulder muscle building.
Yeah.
And just really be consistent with my workout routine. And again, portion control is key. So, and don't limit myself. Don't be afraid of like putting on more weight when I do weightlifting, because sometimes I do have like that mentality. It's like, oh, this is so much. I don't think I can do this much weight. So I just gotta keep pushing yourself to the limit and know that you can do it.
Excellent. Yes. And that's a good advice for people who are just starting weight training and starting to gain muscle. What you said about pushing yourself, and don't be afraid to go up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Correct form.
Exactly. That is very important.
You can't build muscle if you don't progress in your weights. So what are your top 1 to 3 fitness myths or pseudoscience out there in the fitness and nutrition space that people believe in that you want to smash?
That is weightlifting is make you bulky. So number 1. And number 2, low fat food is very good for you.
Yes, that was very popular back in our parents' generation. Yeah.
Yes. And then another one is, let's see, carb is bad for you. I don't think it is.
So you're basically busting like one of the 2 biggest diet beliefs, which is like carbs are bad and also fat is bad. If they're not, it's not about like the types of food. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. And then again, I've been mentioning like all over, which is like portion control is key. So that's why I don't think like high fat food, just like full fat milk or full fat yogurt is bad for you. I actually think it's very good. And then for carbs, I don't think it's bad if you have in control and in control portion and consume it during a smart period. Like you advised before, like you should have carb like an hour or two window, like after you do weightlifting exercise. That's the best time frame to consume it.
I agree completely that it's not really about the types of food you eat. At the end of the day, portion matters more.
Right.
If you're focused on like weight goals, portion matters more, calories matter more. Yeah. And as for, of course, we already talked about the bulky thing, which is a myth. And I think people see pictures of really bulky people on the internet and like
they got scared.
You get scared, and just know that those pictures of those people, either one, they are on steroids, or
yes,
it's almost always because if you see somebody really bulky, it's almost always because of steroids. But and the second thing that might be happening is they might have been strength training really hard for like 20 years, like
a long period of time, full-time job. You know it. It's not like just like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, it's not gonna. You're gonna like wake up one day and be like, "Oh my god,
look at that bicep."
There's nose come from your Cool. What is the most preached about or popular health and fitness advice that you feel is not useful or like not or a waste of time or like the least useful thing that people can do?
So I know a lot of my friends, it was like the first thing you got to do when you want to lose weight is go running, and just running alone will help you lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I'm guilty of doing that too, like just running and running and running and running.
Well, personally, I'm not a runner, so I was like, no, I can't run. Like, no.
Yeah, diet matters more, guys.
Yes.
And if you had to pick just one to three things that you feel helped you the most in your journey so far, what would those be?
Okay, so I definitely have two things, and you can already know the theme of like the items that we've mentioned here is like weightlifting and portion control.
Got it. Perfect. And
love what you do. That's important too.
And love what you do.
Yep.
You said, yes, people probably have heard this. The best diet and exercise is the one that you can stick to.
Yes.
Yeah, because consistency matters.
Exactly.
Great. Love it. Well, okay, thank you again so much, Jane, for this. I really
hope it's helpful.
Absolutely. I think it's been very, very helpful to a lot of people. And the stuff you're saying is very real. And it's a lot of things that I know is like always rolling in the back of people's heads all the time. Where can people find you if you are up for questions or content?
You always can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I think I'm the most active there nowadays. Let me see. My ID is JaneC236.
Got it. And we'll include that in the notes below. Thanks again, Jane. Well,
Thank you, Lucy, for having me.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Anytime. And I hope you have a great, healthy dinner.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Now, you may have noticed that Jane talked a lot about portion control, and she consistently practices it even though she doesn't necessarily count calories for everything she eats. You can do the same thing if you understand that most food in the same food groups and categories share the same number of calories. Lucky for you, Richa and I have looked up the nutrition information of hundreds of foods already, crunched the numbers, and narrowed it all down to just the 13 most common food groups we see again and again. And foods within these food groups share similar calories. So with this guide, you can at a glance tell how much you're eating from your plate of food without breaking out your MyFitnessPal. Click the link in the description below and let me know where to send the guide to. Also, I'm happy to announce that a few spots have opened for the one-on-one free consultation for our Badass Body Boss program. So please click the link in the description below to sign up for the consult and see if we're a good fit for each other. If you're serious about your health and fitness goals, and only if you're really serious and have a real numerical specific goal that you really want to achieve, use the link in the description below. And if you found this video helpful and you'd like to hear more, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with whoever else you think could use this information. And be sure to check out these two videos to learn more about how to lose fat and gain muscle while living healthily and sustainably. You can do it.